Hey, I'm Rebecca Campbell. I'm a best-selling author and oracle card creator and a channel and a mystic. I am answering a question that we get asked all the time via email or on social media around which book should I read first. So at time of recording this, I'm actually working on my fourth book that will be out next year in 2024. So I've got three books that are out currently. And so I'm going to talk you through each of those three books, a little bit about them and who they're for and what order I recommend you read them in. So the first book is Light is the New Black. This is the main cover, which is everywhere around the world except for the UK. This is the UK copy here. And the subline is a guide to answering your soul's calling and working your light. So this book really is about soul purpose. It's working out what your soul's calling you to do and gathering up the courage to share your voice and step into your soul's calling. It works with the concept of light, and I speak a lot about light workers in this book. Essentially, it is a call to action for those of us who are on an awakening path and an awakening journey and are wanting to connect in with their soul gifts, connect in with their soul purpose. The book really is so super practical. You'll read it. It is channeled. I connected with a group of guides called the Council of Light to write this book. I received the writing for this book, and a lot of the practical elements were literally what I did to step out of the spiritual closet, connect with my soul gifts, and really step into my soul's highest path. And that is what this book will guide you to do. As you go through the book, there's so many of these work your light prompts the whole way through, and yeah, lots of activities. And if you go through the book and actually fill out all of the soul inquiries and all of the prompts and call to actions, your life will change. It is also, you can, like with most of my books actually, but particularly this one, you can use it like an oracle. So please guide me, please lead me, please show me the way, open it up, and then you can read one of those pages. I intentionally kept the chapters really, really short, and yeah, it's great. There are some channeled poems and prayers in here as well, some activations, and then, some call out pages like this as well. It's a really easy read and yeah, very activating. So if you want to figure out what your soul's calling you to do, it might be like, I think a lot of people, when they're trying to find their soul mission, their life purpose, it's like, what's the one thing I'm being called to do? And then I think once we are on the path for a while, we realize our soul's always calling us into stepping into the next expression of our soul calling, of our mission. And so, yeah, this book can really be supportive, even if like you're kind of on your path and you want to just check in as you've been changing, as the world's been changing, the highest expression of it in current time. But it's particularly good for those who have experienced an awakening and maybe they're going through a period of change, like sudden returns, that kind of thing, or losing a job, end of a relationship. This will help you embrace your dark night of the soul and really realize that actually sometimes those moments of change, those moments of transition are actually such an amazing opportunity. I began writing this book in 2012 and it was out in 2015, so it took a little while to come out, but yeah, it's a really, really powerful call to action, call to arms for light workers to step forward, share their voice and lead. So the second book I wrote is Rise, Sister, Rise. And it's a guide to unleashing the wise, wild woman within. If I did the subtitle now, I would probably say the wise, wild, sacred feminine within. Rise, Sister, Rise is really all about the rising feminine. It's about connecting in with the intelligent, sacred pulse of life that we all have access to. It acknowledges the much need for us to embrace the feminine on the earth as well as within us. So this book, while it tends to be women who read it, there's many men who do read it because it is about the rising feminine within. It's got these great little call out pages as well. Same as Light is the New Black. We've got the Rise Sister Rise prompts. So as you go through this book, you really will be creating change in your life too. There's some beautifully designed pages like this. This really is about, like, it talks about the witch wound. It talks about feeling afraid of sharing your voice, feeling contained and restrained. It talks about times of persecution for the feminine and why it's so important now more than ever for the feminine to rise. It's not just about rising, though. It's about embracing our cyclic nature, reconnecting with the goddess, reconnecting with the sacred feminine and the feminine ways, and how the way that we've been living is not sustainable. So this is a really life-changing book. I've had people at all ages read this book, and I feel so touched, especially when mothers read this book or grandmothers read this book, and then they give it to their daughter, and sometimes some of them really young. So a really beautiful call to arms for the feminine to rise. So super powerful, a little bit more kind of ferocious energy, wisdom energy, power energy, really great. And next we have Letters to a Starseed, which is such a cool cover. I've always wanted to have a holographic pearlescent book, and this is it. So this is Letters to a Starseed. It is a book which is really about, it's a letter to starseeds, inviting starseeds. And when I say starseed, I mean people who are on an awakening journey. They know they're here for a reason. They are, on their journey of their own personal soul mission, but probably have a part of a collective soul mission as well. They chose to be here on this planet at this time, in this body, in this ancestral line, in order to bring about change, bring about healing. A starseed is someone who is open to the possibility that our linear experience here on Earth is potentially not the only one. They believe that their soul may have experienced places elsewhere than just here, and they are dedicated to really embracing their multidimensional true nature. This book is, it covers a whole lot of topics, particularly around the soul. It covers soul family, past lives, life lessons, soul gifts, the Akashic records. And so we're going a little bit more galactic with this one, a little bit more ancient soul origins, cosmic origins, but it's also very practical. So the first section is all about, like, what is a starseed, and it looks at ancient civilizations who worshipped the stars and had many myths that are linked to the starseed concept. And then after that it goes into I Remember, which is why did you come? So again, it's a soul mission book, a remembering book. So super activating, this one. It's like the step on from Light is the New Black. And then we go into Plant Yourself Here. So how can you feel more at home on Earth? So this book is inviting us to truly be here, commit to being here. I wrote this book in COVID. And so there is this, it's kind of like, pre-COVID is like old world, and then we're kind of birthing into a new one, or in some kind of crucible altogether. And so it really does speak to these changing times as well. It says, Letters to a Starseed asks the big questions that mystics and philosophers through the ages has been asking. What is the soul? Where did it originate? And why have we chosen to come here at this point? So this is really about the soul, the journey of the soul book. Yeah, very pretty. So Light is the New Black, Rise, Sister Rise, and Letters to a Starseed. So the first thing I would say, if you're trying to figure out which one do I read first, I would always recommend that you trust your inner voice. just, you know, if you were look at each three of them, or you've just heard me speak about them, just which one speaks to you, which one are you silently drawn towards? And I would always go for that. If you're looking to say gift a book to a friend as well, this one, Light is the New Black, is probably the most like mainstream entry level one, unless there's someone who is specifically wanting to work with the feminine. And you know, this rising feminine is quite a mainstream topic as well. And so yeah, we'd go these two definitely, and then probably this one, unless you're like, yep, I'm all in on the journey of the soul, I want to go deep. This book will be really, really activating. So these are the three books. I'm going to record a sister video to this around my different oracle decks as well, so watch out for that. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you hitting subscribe and clicking for alerts if you would like to stay connected and receive more videos from me.